I feel.
Yeah.
So let's go with the Dinglish and the Swinglish.
Yes.
Wow. Welcome. Nice to be talking to you today.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Or I mean, we've been speaking in real life, but here and
at the Oddcast.
Yes. The grand finale Oddcast. I think this is the 8th episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have missed some, I hear.
You better get on it. But it's only just me speaking to people that you already know. So it's I don't know how much you've missed.
But that could be fun.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting. I mean, even with Victor, for example, who I know like really well. I like learned a bunch of new things about him. Yeah. Because it's not, I mean, it's such a weird thing to talk to interview someone, but when you're just speaking in general life, it's not like you're inquiring about all those things maybe. And just the fact that I know that there's a mic here, it changes a lot. Yeah, it's true. And the camera. Yeah, yeah. It's maybe good that I don't see myself here. Yeah, I usually put down the picture. That's good. I noticed before, like when I didn't do that, I would just, you would see in the camera, I was looking at the computer screen all the time. Looking at yourself. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes, like the vain narcissist that I am. Yeah. You brought your sax today. Yeah, I did. Nice. But that's because I'm not so comfortable with the microphone and the camera. I see. And like I'm not very comfortable speaking in front of people. Yeah. But I don't mind being on a stage when I have the saxophone with me. So I thought maybe the saxophone can help me a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. But you've never had like stage fright or stuff like that? It's always been like easier on stage? Well, never seriously. No. I mean, of course, there has been periods of like this prestationsångest, how do you say that? Yeah, you want to do well. Yeah, of course. And you can be nervous for different reasons, either the musicians you're playing with or the crowd you're playing for or the venue or whatever. But it has never been any serious problems. Yeah, yeah. So that's nice. But I always feel better if I can hide behind my saxophone. I can relate to that too. Yeah, it's it's been very. It's strange sometimes. Right now I have like some anxiety because my brother is getting married soon, which is wonderful. But I think that I'm expected to like give a speech probably. Oh, okay. Because he did that at my wedding. Just the thought of doing that, like being like in front of people speaking and doing things like that, but not in like a musical, like when you're on stage or when you're behind your instrument. That feels like super scary. Maybe you should do like me. You bring your instrument. Yeah, maybe I should. And you sit down behind the drums. Yeah. And then you have your speech. Yeah, it's true. That's a good idea. And then you could do some solo drumming as well. Nice. Yeah. Ooh. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I might do that actually. But I hope he doesn't see this video then. Oh yeah, we shouldn't. We should edit that out. Yeah, cut it out. No, but that would be nice. But But it's strange because you feel very calm and confident on stage when and you really like to talk to the audience. Yes, I do. Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's another thing when you're like on the stage, as you said, and when you're like, when you're in that element somehow, because that's. Just an environment that you're used to. Yeah, perhaps. And you can enter a role in a way. Yeah, you know what you're doing, why you're there. Definitely. And like, if I sit here just without my saxophone, I'm like, we can talk about everything. Yeah, it's true. And anything. Anything. And maybe it's good to narrow it down a bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's scary. All the options are available. Oh my God. But when do you remember when you was first on stage? Your first performance on stage? Like it must have been in primary school. Mm-hmm. We did a little bit of theater, and I was
probably in some like ensemble in the music school.
You played the recorder, right?
Yeah, I started with that, yes, and then I played some piano.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact first time.
No, but somewhere around there, like early school age, primary school.
Yeah, I guess so. It was a very good music school where I grew up.
Yeah.
So
which what's the town called where you grew up?
It's called Lykkebo, so it's close to Roskilde in Denmark.
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah. I
So,
remember now when you say it that I was tasked with introducing you once in when we went to the music academy together.
Yeah.
And I tried to learn how to say Lyre.
Did I introduce you then? I can't remember.
I think you did actually, yeah.
So I had to learn how to say Møndal.
Yeah, exactly. That feels easier than Lyre.
Yeah.
Is it like a cultural town or like a...
No, not really.
No.
But they had a really good like head of the music school. She was very like working a lot to just make kids feel comfortable and have fun. And,
nice.
Yeah, make it into a good experience. She did arrange some travels to like Estonia. I remember to do like an exchange with kids there.
Wow. With the like orchestras or ensembles?
Yeah. So I must have been plus 13 by then, but because I was playing the saxophone then.
Oh, right.
But it was a very good atmosphere there.
Cool.
Like playful and...
Yeah, that feels so incredibly like important, like that kind of music school thing, and also being able to do that in a way that's not that pretentious and more sort of lust driven or passion driven perhaps. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, if it gets too rigid, feels like you will lose a lot of kids.
But I'm sure it depends a lot on the kid as well, because I had fun. I wanted to be there. I wanted to learn how to play, and just it was like a free like, how do you say, fristad? It was, safe
safe haven.
Yeah, kind of like playing music and just playing around with it.
Nice.
Yeah, and trying different instruments. Just trying out.
Why did you? How did you end up with the sax?
The saxophone. Yeah. Well, my parents had a huge LP vinyl collection. Not a huge one, but a very broad one. Yeah. In terms of genres. So I used to lay on their floor and listen to all their vinyls. And they had one with the Duke Ellington, and I just really loved the energy in the saxophone section.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, so...
Did you listen to like more, it's like Ellington more than just on your parents' vinyls, or have you like been digging into...
A little bit later, but not too much.
Yeah.
But that just got my attention to the saxophone. And then, of course, they had like Coltrane and Miles Davis records. And then I really fell in love with the sound of the tenor sax.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Did that also speak to you early, like Coltrane, for example, as opposed to, I mean, it's quite different from, say, Count Basie, like in terms of what kind of music it is, like, but that the Coltrane sort of muscle tenor thing, was that like?
Well, I guess I started out with the more mellow stuff, like not so muscly.
Muscly, yeah.
But then, for instance, my dad used to listen to Bitches Brew, which can be quite out there for someone who's not used to that kind of stuff. So, and I mean, it was a mixture of many different styles, also some folk music and rock. But it was mostly the sounds, and maybe the aesthetics in the jazz, the sound aesthetics that spoke to me more than the tonal. Harmonic work. Like, at least that was the first thing, just the sound aesthetics.
Feels like that's a way in for a lot of... I can relate to that too. Like, I don't think I liked jazz very much when I was younger, but my dad was a jazz musician, so we always had it spinning at home, and I liked the energy of it. But I thought that the music was just strange and weird. But I liked that the feel of it, I suppose.
But do you remember the first records that really touched you then?
With jazz?
Yeah, or that really caught your attention to music, you know, if like from your own.
Yeah, I think I maybe with the. I was thinking actually yesterday. I remember I had one summer. I don't know how old I was, maybe 14 or something. And I remember that I had found a Pat Metheny group album somehow that was called The Way Up.
Okay.
Have you heard that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's incredibly like through composed music, and it's like a long suite sort of, so it's almost like film music-y in a way. And then he has this it's quite a big group of musicians, I suppose, and there's like all kinds of mallet instruments, a vibraphone, trumpet, and like 3,000 guitars, and but that was like really that record really spoke to me like tonally somehow, because I think that it was not like jazz harmony in a traditional sense, but it was more sort of like pop rock harmony kind of music, but played with that sort of kind of jazz improvised music energy. That was very cool. And also Klabbes Bank.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that a lot of, I suspect that a lot of that was like a gateway for a lot of people in my generation into like being able to appreciate like jazz and
wow.
Yeah, that was like the first band I heard that was like, wow, this sounds like music that, like my music.
Yeah.
Like, because all of that stuff that Ellington and Count Basie, we listened a lot to that at home too. That was very cool, but it never felt like it was my music.
No,
it was
I understand.
So far away, both like geographically and culturally, and also like a long time ago. So I didn't feel that I had any like ownership of that.
Yeah,
music.
sure. Yeah, that's a strange thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I realized that most of the music that really deeply touched me is from the 60s.
Oh, really?
Kind of.
Yeah.
From North America.
You're an old soul.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess I mean, now when you say it, I was really into like British and American rock music from the 70s and 60s when I was younger too, so maybe it's not only that like the feeling of it being far away, but I don't know what makes it. But what kind of music from the 60s, like the American
well, it's just all the old African American guys.
Yeah.
Like I listened a lot to Archie Shepp and David S. Ware.
Yeah.
And you know, all that free jazz stuff.
Albert Ayler.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Ornette.
Yeah. It's the good stuff.
Yeah.
How did you find that kind of music? I mean, going from, was it just that you were introduced by friends or teachers, or you just found it on your own, or?
I guess I just went to the library.
Oh yeah.
Because back in the days you could physically like go through all the CDs.
Yeah. And
then I just picked a bunch.
Nice.
And then this must have been before I was really using the internet.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like picking up stuff that looked like it was related, or this looks cool, or maybe looking up the musicians and then looking up other records they were on.
Yeah,
and cool. I remember coming home with like
a big stack.
Yeah, big stack of CDs.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I can really miss that. I also remember going to the public library, like rifling through all the CDs.
Yeah.
But then I also remember, I think that the way that I sort of found like the kind of jazz music that I liked, at least, or any kind of music really, I remember when you could start downloading music online, and in the beginning it was like anarchy online. It felt like with the downloading stuff. So I don't know if you ever did that kind of thing, like
no,
the
not
Napster
really.
or that sort
that
of.
was too technical for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But they had this weird system then that you could, like, you could share files, I guess, that other people could download, and some people would share like their whole like hard drive. And then you might have like managed to download one album that you found out that you really liked from one specific person, and then I would just like download their whole hard drive to see what they had on it, and because they seem to have like good taste, and then it sort of like spread out from there. But that's a weird thing, like with the...
Sounds like it could take a lot of time.
Yeah, it took a lot of time. I remember the computer just being in my room, just going like day in and day out, and I had this enormous catalog of MP3 music and other probably lots of viruses as well. It was anarchy. Yeah, but that's cool. Did you but did you just get into that stuff like immediately when you started playing sax? Like, did you find the Ornette and the Albert Eiler and that stuff, or was there like a transition into that, or that sort of sound just spoke to you immediately somehow?
Well, I mean, I guess I was listening to lots of different stuff, and now I can't even remember all the stuff. Like just coming home from the library with all these things, so true. It would be different, but it would all be jazz related in a way, mostly from pretty early on. Yeah. Of course, I listened to other stuff, but
have you ever been into like pop music or rock music or like stuff like that?
Not too much, actually. Yeah. Well, I can enjoy listening to lots of different stuff, but nothing that I like really dig into and check out, and not in the same way as with the jazz.
Yeah, that's cool
stuff. And it's not like I mean, I know a lot of people who are a lot more nerdy than me when it comes to like name dropping all the musicians and the genres and all that kind of stuff. But that seems like it's part of the in some circles at least, that's sort of part of the being a musician, kind of, especially playing jazz, like the name dropping and all of that stuff. Yeah, but there's a nerdiness to this, like knowing which musicians who played with whom, and reading about all the stories, and I haven't done that much. No. But like more just putting on a record and taking in the music, and then moving on. That
feels like the right way to do it.
But I've been thinking about this because later in life I haven't listened that much to music, and then I often get back to the same records. Anyway. That's then it has been much more about like going to a live concert and just listening to whatever that brings.
Do you feel that because I that's my experience too, that I've listened a lot less to music now than I did when I was younger, but why do you feel like you did that? Were you just like fatigued of like music, or was it do you feel like playing it yourself makes it like too much to take in like other music?
I'm not sure actually. Well, there was definitely a period where like when we were studying, you're so engaged in the processes and yourself that it maybe became a little bit too much to like. It was more like a work in a way.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
Or like, but in a creative way as well. Like I would listen to something really intensely, and then work on my instrument. Yeah. And then when I got home, I just needed to do something else.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, I am someone who really loves doing different stuff. So, it feels like I'm kind of scratching the surface on many different areas nowadays, at least. But of course, in younger days, you're like a sponge, right? So
for sure.
So there were these years where I would just like pick up everything and listen to everything. Yeah.
Did you have like a CD Walkman or something?
Yeah, I did actually.
Nice.
And I found it a couple of years ago, but it didn't really work.
That's too bad.
Because I have a lot of CDs at home still.
Yeah, yeah.
But now I have nothing to play it on. Now I only have like my vinyl player.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I have nothing. I make CDs like with all the bands I'm in, but I have no way of listening to them. Yeah. I can listen to them in my car.
Yeah.
Which is quite terrible, but it's that's the only place that I have.
That's something. Yeah.
But I've been really I've been thinking about buying a real CD, like you had, like my parents had like a real CD player, like a brick that you could put your CD into. It's nice listening to like physical products.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't use Spotify myself, but
that's good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I didn't either. I do use it now quite a lot for work because I when I do teach, and kids want to play all of the new music that I don't own or know. So that's a good way to find it.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing because you can find so much stuff, but for me it just ends up like I don't listen to anything because there's so much choice in a way.
Yeah.
So I really like putting on a physical record.
Yeah, it's nice.
And push the button.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have that record and you you go through it and then when it's done it stops.
But of course I end up listening to the same 3 records quite a lot.
Yeah, of course. Do you ever change, you have a rotation and then you put a new album in, and then you exchange it out for an old one, or it's just it's random, what you listen to?
No, I kind of have my favorites nowadays that work for the purpose.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I guess it depends on where you are in life in general and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I miss the CD days and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get back there. Let's go. Oh, but I see all these people that aren't putting their music on Spotify, which I really respect.
That aren't? Or?
That aren't.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they choose not to put it out online at all.
Oh, yeah.
Or not for free, or people might be able to purchase digital downloads, but not streaming sites and stuff like that. And that would be it would be nice to have that sort of integrity, I guess. But it's also, do you have any music on Spotify except for the ones that we've done?
Yeah, I think I'm in some bands that are there.
Yeah. You have made
but I don't really pay too much attention to this. Like we spoke before.
Yeah.
I like to release the stuff and then just let it be out there, and I don't mind if somebody would pirate copy it, or I would kind of just be happy that someone would take the effort to do that, to listen to to music.
Yeah.
But maybe this relates also to the way that I have chosen not to make music my career.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So I don't feel like I really need the financial.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't.
You don't need much in general. I mean, living is not necessarily that expensive, depending on what kind of life you have, of course. But I understand what you mean, and I feel the same way, I guess.
Ideally, I would love the music to be free, I want to share it, right?
Yeah. For sure.
And
yeah, I guess it's that's a different debate, maybe.
Yeah,
I guess people are of course you should be compensated for the work you do.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, but I also like the fact that people can enjoy the music. I mean, I'm not making any money from making the music anyway. I mean, not when playing concerts almost, or everything is just sort of pushed back into the projects that I do. So the money is always at zero.
Yeah.
But you can do a bunch of stuff, and I think that's what's most important.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun to play music.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. We should do it more.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we should. We should totally do that more. But for the people who don't know, but you haven't been, you've been working as a nurse for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. and studying very much to become a nurse.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Like 3 years of studying.
Oh my God.
Quite intensely.
Yeah.
And then working 2 years.
Yeah. And now you're like getting back to playing more and more, right? Or,
yeah.
On your own terms.
Exactly. Yeah.
That feels like such a healthy way to relate to your...
Yeah, because I had like a period where I just had no inspiration. And it felt like what music originally was for me I had lost that. So I wanted to get back to just the playfulness and not having to perform. And not having to seek the right kind of venues and play with people that I enjoy playing with and play much more locally, because it can be fun traveling and tour, but I really like staying at home as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. But of course, like working with something else takes up a lot of energy, so I haven't had much energy to like do jam sessions or play. I'm just like slowly getting back. I also have lots of other stuff in life that I enjoy doing, so
climbing, biking.
So but I mean, you can do music in so many different ways.
Yeah, for sure.
And for me it has been really important to just let go of all the pressure to make money on it and to perform at a certain level, and instead focusing on playing with people that I enjoy playing with and having fun and
nice.
and be much more accepting to whatever form I'm in at this, because I cannot keep the same level when I don't play that much. So it's much more about just enjoying the moment when you play than trying to constantly become better and perform better.
I can imagine that must be incredibly stressful. I mean, I grew up with a brass or a trombone playing father, and I know how much he had to like constantly be keeping his embouchure up and everything. Like the whole summer vacations, he would be like...
so he would bring it along everywhere.
Yeah, because he couldn't play otherwise.
No.
That would be so... drums are nice in that way because it's just like hitting things. So of course it's there's a form factor to it in some ways, but I can imagine that it's much tougher with wind instruments. Yeah,
that's the form, the fitness thing of the music. Yeah. But it has been much more mental, like a mentally challenging for me to just like accept that my form is much more fluctuating. But I feel like I'm having more fun and enjoying it more now.
That's great.
Regardless of what form I'm in. So that's the most important thing.
I guess that's like the optimal thing. Because I guess that's true for... I would suspect most people who play an instrument have like good days and bad days. And sometimes you're in form and not, like, and if you're constantly like feel bad when you can't perform at like 200% of your abilities, that seems like it would be very... or I felt that way too, for my whole life until, I don't know, maybe the past like 6-7 years or something. I've been able to be like a bit cooler, and I actually sort of enjoy playing, and I enjoy my own playing now, even when I don't feel like I'm like being able to do all of the...
So what have you done to reach that point?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that too, because I've been trying to speak to some of my students about that too, like because they're all into like playing everything as fast as possible, and like doing all of the hardest stuff, and I don't know how. I feel like it's part of it is just like being older and having had more life experience and other I think I realized at some point that this doesn't really matter that much. Or I mean, playing music is not like it's very important to me because I really enjoy it. But if I'm only like focused on, I spent so many years not enjoying playing music because of like weird hang-ups and like constantly comparing myself to other people and being insecure about my sound and yeah, I guess that's sort of what you were talking about too.
Yeah, sure.
And,
or like feeling you have to work in a certain way because you have chosen to do this as a career, or you have put a lot of energy into studying it and working it, and you want to like play concerts and you're working hard for that. So sometimes it can lead to what you described.
Yeah, I think so.
Not for everybody, but
no, probably not for everyone. But I think it's probably quite common too. I think like, and I can feel it in like when I meet students and stuff, that there's a lot of like always comparing yourself and always rather than like appreciating like, wow, that's really cool what that person did, or that's incredible. It's always like, oh, she's much better than me, or that kind of thing. But I think that for me, it was probably just becoming older and getting other experiences in life that sort of gave you more perspective on how to...
And it's not like it doesn't matter, right? Because in a way, often when I play, it feels like it's about life and death.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially when I do free improvisation, I can be really focused and really into it. But at the same time, it comes from a more playful attitude. Than striving for a specific goal. So it's more like venturing out on like the unknown than trying to reach a certain point of whatever it is I'm searching for.
It's true.
But do you remember taking like specific decisions about this? Because I have played with you for quite some years now, and played your music and your compositions, and it feels like there's this high degree of like just playfulness and it's very not non-judgmental in a way. I feel like it's you have a clear idea, but it's still like open to suggestions.
That's nice.
It feels like you have made a conscious choice there. But I
think that I had that sort of that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. Like from, I don't know. I remember being in folkhögskola, community college, maybe you say, and that was really when I sort of got into sort of studying jazz and improvised music and trying to be like learn about this culture. And I think that I realized quite fast that I didn't really like that whole or a big part of like what seemed to make up the jazz community just seemed to be like horrible to me, like very sort of macho and very much focused on like technical abilities, and it felt like music was always sort of a circus thing. Like when you went to concerts and like at sort of bigger venues, it always seemed like everyone in the audience would just sort of cheer and applaud when someone were playing like insane things, like super fast or super and I felt very strongly that I didn't want to be a part of that, but I also felt very strongly that I really wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be like accepted by that crowd or something. But I still had this idea of like the kind of music that I think we've been playing like for a long time, even though it sounds slightly different, but it's always been, I've always wanted to do this sort of fun and open thing. So I think I started doing that sort of in community college, but I don't think that I was ever brave enough to, or I didn't have the integrity at that time to really like do it full on. It was always sort of like, okay, let's do this now, and it was sort of ironic in a way, maybe. But now I feel like I do sort of the same thing, but it's not ironic anymore. It's like I actually really enjoy this now.
I kind of recognize that actually. From your earlier compositions, there was a bigger degree of like almost making a little fun of the, I don't know how to say, the melodies and the compositions, almost like joking a bit.
Yeah, it's true. and that's
in a more ironic way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just because I was afraid to be like too pretentious, I think.
Yeah.
Because the whole jazz community seemed to be so insanely pretentious, so I didn't want to be like a part of that. Yeah. And I think that's sort of.
So now you have the integrity to be playfully pretentious.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's nice.
Yeah, I hope so. I've realized that a little bit of pretense is a good thing.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it's inevitably incredibly pretentious just being like a musician and trying to make a living. Sort of, it's kind of a pretentious, I guess, or it feels like it's something that people would think like, oh, you're an artist, oh my god, whatever kind of music you make, it feels like it's sort of a pretentious thing.
It seems like that's a popular picture of it, but for most people it's just hard work.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. In reality, that's what it is, definitely. But I enjoy playing music more than ever these days, just because I think that I don't care that much anymore about trying to be part of that community or whatever. Which is
that's a positive thing, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And I guess you are sort of in the same kind of realm, I guess.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, that's nice.
But of course, the embouchure thing, it's a real thing. So, so often I would have like a longer break, not playing so much, and then when I have a project, I will have to do this getting back to it for a couple of weeks and just being really disciplined with, doing all the...
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah, but I kind of enjoy that as well, like just doing some very simple practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of nice.
Getting back to the sound and the instrument.
Working on your craft, but in like a more functional way, I suppose, than like always striving to like being able to do the most like insane things. Just like being able to actually like be a functional player.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nice thing. Cool. But I think there has been some music playing in the background actually also. I thought that I would...
What did we listen to?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we listened to our the new album, of course.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, and you too, of course. Do you think? Do you have any thoughts about this new album? I know you haven't listened to it in a while, but like compared to the other ones we've made, do they feel the same sort of, or?
Well, it's definitely the same track, but it really feels like you are evolving your both your compositions and the sound you are after.
Yeah.
And that becomes so much clearer with the records compared to the live.
Yeah, it's true, I guess.
Playing.
Yeah.
Because
the live
I can hear like you have a very clear direction when you do the mixing and all that kind of stuff.
It's true.
Which doesn't always get through when we're playing live.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The live thing has always been maybe more similar, even from the beginning. It feels like it was. As you say, because you don't really get the same difference in sound and stuff. But I think that I think that it's happened a lot too, like in terms of just playing together and like finding new ways to improvise and all kinds of things.
But I'm looking forward to listening to this Cruikshank Temptation again.
Yes, the whole
maybe I should go home and do that today.
Oh shit! Yeah, you had to message me and say what you think.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I said that on the last video I did. I told this story about what I did with that song, which was that I took a broken sort of. I was mixing that and then I bounced it and then my computer didn't. It sort of was lagging, so the whole mix became sort of this glitch, digital glitch thing. And I've heard the track like 600 times by that time, so I was super bored of like the regular version. So I just okay, that sounds cool, so I'll keep that. And then I played it for the rest of the band. They were like, "What
And I hadn't even heard the full version of the original version, and I was like really digging it. And I was, I'm looking forward to hearing it in full length. And then you came with a whole different version. So I have to admit, I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But having a small break from this, I will listen to it with open ears when I get home.
And if you still don't like it, I can give you the regular version. Yes. So
and I will put it on does Pirate Bay still exist? But I will put it out on the internet so people can...
Yeah, so people can download it.
Download it.
Actually, when you say it, we should put that one up too, actually. Yeah. I can just add it to the release. It's kind of fun to have two versions.
Yeah.
I guess.
But again, I really like that you just took that decision.
Yeah. It felt very weird at the time, but I think it was because I was so tired of that song. Because Gustav mixed all of the other tracks mostly, or we mixed them together. But that one I mixed all by myself, and I'm not that good of a sound engineer, so everything takes 1,000 years for me when I try to mix music. So I had been listening to that way too much. So I think that was the reason for why I just went insane.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Go insane sometime.
Well, it happened, and now there it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not be too judgmental about my own artistic choices these days.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Yeah, me too. Well, do you want to add something? I don't even know if I said your name in the beginning. But this is Signe Dahlgreen. Lykkebo Dahlgreen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you played the tenor sax in Williams Solvik Grand Final.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm very happy that you are in the band.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I'm looking forward to play more live again.
Yeah, me too. I hope that we can do that soon again. You've been in all of my bands since you came to Gothenburg.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All of the little projects, but it's mostly been this one. 2012, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Have you talked about the project you and Marlin have? The Gothenburg Art Ensemble?
Oh no, I don't know.
Maybe you should do an Artcast version of that.
Maybe I should. Yes, yeah. I'm going to talk to Marlin tomorrow. Actually.
Oh, that's great.
So maybe we will talk about that. Or
that's so much fun being playing both of your music. There.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very fun. It's really fun playing Marlin's. I used to, or I've been playing quite a lot with her, quartet as well.
Oh yeah, sure.
Even though that was quite some time ago now. I don't think they've been playing for a while, but it's very interesting because me and her have been playing together so much as well, but we are very different when it comes to composing and thinking about music in general, I feel, but it's fun that we've been working so much together.
Yeah, it works great.
I think so too. And with all of the people in this band too, I feel like it's all very strong personalities musically, but it just I think it works really well, and it's fun being able to let everyone do whatever they feel.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be a part of that too. It's an honor.
Yeah. All right. Well,
great.
That was the 8th episode. I guess we'll see you another time. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.